In this video, we'll start with a detailed discussion of Clause 1, which is the general provisions. This clause sets the groundwork for the contract and defines key terms used throughout the contract. And these are the topics that we are going to cover in this video. Let's begin.
Clause 1.1.1.1 Contract. This subclause defines the term contract as used in the FIDIC contract. It includes all the documents that make up the contract, such as the contract agreement, the letter of acceptance, the letter of tender, the conditions of contract, general and particular, the specifications, the drawings, the schedules, and any other documents listed in the contract agreement or in the letter of acceptance. This is a comprehensive definition that encompasses all the documents that govern the rights and obligations of the parties. Clause 1.1.1.2 Contract agreement. The contract agreement is a formal signed agreement between the employer and the contractor that incorporates all the terms and conditions of the contract. It is referred to in subclause 1.6, which provides that the parties shall enter into a contract agreement within 28 days after the contractor receives the letter of acceptance. Clause 1.1.1.3 Letter of acceptance. The letter of acceptance is the formal letter from the employer accepting the contractor's tender or bid. It includes any annexed memoranda comprising agreements between and signed by both parties. The letter of acceptance signifies the employer's intention to proceed with the works as per the contractor's tender and forms a crucial part of the contract.
The letter of tender in the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999 is a foundational document that outlines the contractor's offer to the employer. It includes essential details such as the scope of work, terms of payment, and other contractual obligations. It serves as a binding agreement between the parties once accepted by the employer. The letter of tender is a part of the contract, along with other documents, such as the contract agreement, letter of acceptance, employer's requirements, schedules, contractor's proposal, etc. The tender documents issued to tenderers consist of the conditions of contract, the employer's requirements, and the letter of tender and schedules for completion by the tenderer. When the employer accepts the letter of tender, the contract comes into full force and effect, including the accepted proposal and completed schedules. A specific form of the letter of tender is provided in the FIDIC Yellow Book, including commitments to provide performance security, commence the works, complete the works within the time for completion, and guarantee conformity with the schedule of guarantees. It also states that the letter of tender, together with the employer's written acceptance, constitutes a binding contract. The contractor is defined as the persons named as the contractor in the letter of tender accepted by the employer. The appendix to tender is appended to and forms part of the letter of tender. Here are some case studies with examples and common pitfalls to avoid. The letter of tender is a vital document that sets the tone for the entire contract. It must be drafted with precision and in accordance with the FIDIC guidelines. Expertise in drafting the letter of tender in line with FIDIC Yellow Book 1999 is essential for successful project execution.
Purpose of employer's requirements. The employer's requirements document is intended to provide a clear and comprehensive description of what the employer expects from the contractor in terms of the execution of the works. It outlines the employer's expectations and requirements, which the contractor is expected to fulfill. The employer's requirements have significant implications for both the employer and the contractor. For the employer, it provides a means to communicate their expectations and requirements clearly and unambiguously. For the contractor, it sets out the standards and specifications they are expected to meet. Any discrepancies or failures to meet these requirements can lead to disputes or claims. The employer's requirements must be clear, comprehensive, and precise. They should be drafted in a way that leaves no room for ambiguity or misinterpretation. The contractor should review the employer's requirements carefully before agreeing to the contract to ensure they can meet the specified requirements. In the context of FIDIC contracts, including the Yellow Book, Plant and Design Build contract, the employer's requirements would typically include the specifications and design criteria for the works. The contractor is responsible for the design of the works, to the extent specified in the contract, and for carrying out the construction in accordance with the employer's requirements. The specific implications and responsibilities associated with the employer's requirements can vary depending on the specific terms of the contract and the nature of the works. Therefore, it's always important to review the contract carefully and seek legal advice if necessary.
Schedules, in the Yellow Book 1999, encompasses various aspects, including payment schedules, manufacturing stages, and other contractual details. It serves as a critical component in defining payment terms, progress tracking, and other contractual obligations. The general conditions contain provisions for interim payments to the contractor, which may be based on a schedule of payments. If the contract includes a schedule of payments specifying the installments in which the contract price will be paid, certain conditions are outlined in Yellow Book. The schedule of payments may be based on actual progress achieved in executing the works, requiring careful definition of payment milestones. The term, schedules, refers to the documents entitled schedules that are completed by the contractor and submitted with the letter of tender, as included in the contract. These documents may encompass various elements such as bill of quantities, a detailed statement of work, prices, quantities of materials, and labor required. Daywork schedule, a breakdown of labor and material costs for specific tasks. Schedule of payment currencies, a detailed plan for payment in different currencies. The schedules are an integral part of the contract and provide essential details that guide the execution of the works. They are used to define the scope, pricing, and other contractual aspects. The schedules play a vital role in ensuring that both the employer and the contractor have a clear understanding of the project's requirements, costs, and execution plan.
Clause 1.1.1.7 Contractor's Proposal. The contractor's proposal is a document that the contractor submits with the letter of tender. It may include preliminary designs and outlines the contractor's approach to the project. But what makes it so essential? During the tendering phase, the contractor's proposal is a key document. It's submitted with the letter of tender, providing insights into the contractor's methodology and understanding of the project. The employer evaluates this proposal, and upon acceptance, it becomes a binding part of the contract agreement. But the contractor's proposal doesn't stop at the tendering stage. During project execution, the contractor can submit proposals to accelerate completion, reduce costs, or improve efficiency. These proposals must be prepared at the contractor's cost and follow specific guidelines. This clause is interconnected with others, such as Sub-Clause 13.3, which details the variation procedure, and Sub-Clause 13.2, allowing the contractor to initiate beneficial proposals. So, what are the key takeaways from Clause 1.1.1.7? It's vital during both tendering and execution. It fosters collaboration and transparency. It sets clear guidelines for preparation, submission, and acceptance. The contractor's proposal in the FIDIC Yellow Book is more than just a document. It's a multifaceted tool that bridges different stages of a construction project. It reflects the complex and dynamic nature of the industry, emphasizing collaboration and shared understanding.
Next, we're focusing on Clause 1.1.1.8, a fundamental term known as the tender. So, what exactly is the tender in the context of Yellow Book? The tender is more than just a single document. It's a collection of essential components such as letter of tender. This is the document entitled Letter of Tender, completed by the contractor, including the signed offer to the employer for the works. Schedules. These may include data, lists, and schedules of payments and/or prices, completed by the contractor and submitted with the letter of tender. Contractor's proposal. This includes the contractor's preliminary design and approach to the project. When the employer accepts the letter of tender, the contract comes into full force and effect, including the accepted proposal and completed schedules. The tender may require specific studies or conceptual design work, and the level of detail should be described in the instructions to tenderers. In conclusion, the tender, as defined in Clause 1.1.1.8, is a comprehensive term that includes the letter of tender and all accompanying documents submitted by the contractor. It plays a vital role in the formation of the contract and is integral to the procurement and evaluation process.
Now dig into a clause that plays a pivotal role in the tendering process, Clause 1.1.1.9, the Appendix to Tender. First things first, what exactly is the Appendix to Tender? Simply put, it's the completed pages that are appended to the letter of tender, forming an integral part of it. Think of it as a companion document that holds essential details. The appendix to tender is like a convenient checklist. It's where you'll find data that's commonly required, but who fills it in? The employer. They prepare it based on an example form, tailoring it to their specific needs. The employer doesn't just fill it out randomly. They complete elements according to their requirements and may even include additional questions in the schedules. It's a tailored document, not a one-size-fits-all. Before submitting the tender, the appendix must be completed. It includes vital entries like names and addresses. It's not just a formality, it's a necessity. The appendix to tender isn't an isolated document. It's referenced in various other clauses, from payments to completion dates. It's like the connective tissue in the contractual body. And for those drafting the contract, there's guidance text in italics. But remember, this is for guidance only and shouldn't appear in the final tender documents. So there you have it, the appendix to tender, a small title with a big role. It's more than just a document, it's a vital part of the tendering process, reflecting the specific needs of the contract.
Now we're diving into a specific yet significant clause from the FIDIC Yellow Book 1999, Clause 1.1.1.10, Schedule of Payments. Clause 1.1.1.10 reads as follows. Schedule of Guarantees and Schedule of Payments mean the documents so named, if any, which are comprised in the schedules. Sounds simple, right? But there's more to it than meets the eye. First, this clause defines two crucial terms. Schedule of Guarantees. This could be all about the performance guarantees from the contractor. Schedule of Payments. This one's about the payment plan, including when and how much the contractor gets paid. These documents are part of the schedules of the contract. Think of them as the blueprint for financial aspects of the project. Notice the words "if any." That means these documents may or may not be in the contract. It's like a customizable feature tailored to the project's needs. Why does this matter? Well, these schedules lay the groundwork for financial transparency and accountability. They're like the guardrails on the highway of the project, keeping everything on track. So there you have it, folks. Clause 1.1.1.10. A small but mighty part of the FIDIC Yellow Book. It's all about clarity, flexibility, and financial savvy. Got questions? Leave a comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the world of FIDIC contracts. Thanks for tuning in to Growth Mindset Company. Until next time, keep building knowledge.